Hello and welcome to another AGS Inspire Flip Masterclass. This week's topic is the global classroom and specifically how we can use Skype to create fantastic learning opportunities and experiences for our students and move towards creating a world-class education for the students in our care. The first thing I want to talk about is really how you can use Skype to be your window to the world. And I think the world is such an amazing place and such a huge, diverse place. But unfortunately and sadly for some of our students, they don't get to see the true world, and their lack of opportunities that they may be afforded by their family or by their circumstances or just by the region that they live in actually limits what they can see from the world. And I think that it's our duty as educators to broaden their horizons, to get them to connect with other people across the world, to learn about different cultures, and to see the world, truly as it is, rather than through the lenses just of the internet or via a textbook. So I think it's a perfect way to do this, and of course by using the technology we've got, the internet connections and things like Skype, all these things are free, and we can deliver these amazing learning opportunities in the comfort of our own classroom without having to spend thousands and thousands of pounds doing that. It also raises the engagement level, and whenever I've used Skype, I think that I truly feel that it's been the real X factor of a lesson. And I think whether we like it or not, we need to understand that as teachers, our students get bored of our voices sometimes. And even though somebody else may deliver the same message, the kids sometimes just get it because they sometimes don't see us as real people. They see us as kind of cardboard cutouts that don't leave our classroom. But when they get the message from what they would class as a real person, and that may be someone who kind of works in the industry that you're trying to educate them about, or maybe someone who's perceived to be an expert in the real world, it becomes more authentic to them, and they kind of just get it, and that's as simple as I can put it. And I think it's interesting and important to understand that, and to think, when can you get different guest speakers, or when can you hook up with different students, and when can they learn from each other, and what opportunities are there to do that, so that you can make your content far more engaging. Alright, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at 4 different ways how you can use Skype and the global classroom to really enhance your delivery moving forward to what we've continually heard from the government for the last few years of trying to provide that world-class education. So the first one then is, how can we get guest speakers into our classroom to speak to our students? And this is a fantastic way of enhancing your delivery, because although we are subject specialists, we can't be world-class experts at every single topic within our subject range. A lot of our subjects are vast. They have very, very different and discrete expertise within there, and we need to make sure that we're able to deliver the best possible education. And a great way of doing this is to get guest speakers, expert speakers on a certain topic, to speak to our students. Now, normally those speakers would cost money to come into school. There's travelling, there's overheads, there's the time, and this is very, very difficult to bring a speaker in of the quality that you want. But with Skype, we can do that very easily. And it may be, if you want someone to Skype into your class for 20 minutes, then it only takes them 20 minutes out of their day. There's no, they're literally sat at their desk. They can open their laptop and they can Skype straight in from anywhere in the world. I think when we start to think about this, we need to really start to open our mind to the possibilities of who can we get to Skype in. And you may have some contacts already, and they don't have to be world-class leading experts. It may just be, as an English teacher, you have a journalist as a friend, or as a science teacher, a paramedic or a doctor. And there are different people who our students believe to be authentic and experts. And there's some fantastic examples of how that's happened. I want to share a couple of those with you now. First thing, here at Acklam Grange last year, we had Judy Murray, Andy Murray's mum, Skype in. And there's a picture of her there, and she Skyped into our GCSE PE group. It was a girls group, and Judy spoke very authentically about elite performers and their diet, and she made some fantastic references to how Andy Murray prepared before he went on to Wimbledon, and what music he listened to on his iPod when he walked down to centre court, and all these amazing things that we could never, as PE staff, Emma and I could have never ever have given that to the class. We could have talked about mental preparation, all those type of things, but we could never give those first-hand experiences that someone like Judy could give us about Andy. So that was a fantastic opportunity for our students. And secondly, myself, I know what it's been like to be a guest speaker, because I've spoken to classrooms all over the world particularly in America. I've spoken to 40 different schools in America about my journey as an Olympic torchbearer, and that's been amazing. And I've seen it from the flip side of how easy it is as a guest speaker to Skype into a classroom, how little time it takes, how little preparation it takes, and how rewarding it is. So very, very good, very easy to do. And there's lots and lots of guest speakers and organisations who want to speak to you, to your students and to our students, because they want to get involved in education. Things like authors, they want to speak to students because they want to be able to engage with the readers, and they want those young people to go out and buy their books. So don't think that it's something that these people don't want to do. They really do want to get involved in education. So start thinking about who you can start to bring into your classroom. All right, the second way to do it is how to connect to another classroom, and that's fantastic if you want to collaborate with another class, maybe across the town or across the country or even across the other side of the world, on a project. And that's a fantastic way of maybe you can teach something to each other. You maybe want to find out about hurricanes. Well, wouldn't it be a fantastic way to get it from the horse's mouth and to get a group of students in America or in Florida potentially, to speak about what it's like in hurricane season, and how things change, and what they have to do, and the health and safety, and their hopes and fears around hurricane season. Because I think when you start to tap into real feelings from real people, it makes deep connections, and it makes kind of real deep learning. And I think that those are the type of things that when the kids come to sit an exam, they remember those lessons, and they remember, that's when we Skyped that class in Florida, and it kind of comes back, and it's a trigger for for learning. I think that's a real positive. I think that when we Skype with other class as well, it's always great to kind of to really get that engagement and to make it something different. And it may be that your class have to teach another class about something. And as we know as teachers, when you have to teach something, you really have to know it. And there's a real motivation there, because you're not just telling the teacher and telling us what we already know. You're actually teaching a live audience, and that's really important for our students, because I think it gives them a real motivation, because they're doing it for a real reason, and there's a real audience. So that's certainly something to think about, and maybe some joint projects and collaborations that you'd like to work on. The only barrier there is time zones. But when I've done that before, when I've connected my PE class to a class in America, we worked around the time zone, and it was 8:30 in the morning in Wisconsin. It was 3:30 in the afternoon in Durham, and we did a live PE lesson, and we did an international dance-off where we danced for each other on the other side of the Atlantic, and we judged each other, and it was absolutely amazing. And then we moved it one step forward, and a few weeks later, the class in America from Wisconsin taught my kids how to jump rope. Amazing. And rather than putting a barrier in the way of us, we said, well, look, we'll work around the time zone. We can do this, and fantastic. Right. Thirdly, is taking a virtual field trip, and we all know as teachers now how much red tape there is around taking trips, field trips. Not only finance but also risk assessments now, and it's sometimes not financially viable for the school, but also for the students themselves to be able to go on these trips. And the trips I'm kind of talking about are maybe half an hour or an hour away from school. I'm not talking about taking your class to the other side of the world, but with Skype we can do that. We can have a virtual field trip of somewhere in America or somewhere in Africa or Australia, because with technology we can get people to show us around, and we can get to do those trips all from the comfort of our classroom. And that's going back to that that first slide about Skype being your window to the world. This is an ideal opportunity to really get out and see the world for what it is. And it may just be that you want to take a visit down to to a local factory, or to see to see what it's like on a shop floor of a huge factory. And you might they might not let you in for health and safety reasons, or our students might have to miss 2 or 3 lessons on the day. Well, can we get someone to to Skype in and to show us around? With a camera or with an iPad, very, very easy to do, but very, very effective as part of your lessons. Some fantastic examples, and I've been working with Skype over the last 2 or 3 years now, and I'm now part of their Master Teachers program. And there's been some amazing opportunities that have come up through Skype. And the picture on your screen now is a UK explorer called Mark Wood, who climbed to the top of Everest about 12 to 18 months ago. And he put out on Skype an opportunity for 10 schools around the world to Skype, for him to Skype in from the top of Everest. And again, what an amazing opportunity, and some fantastic ways to see how the world is, and to get it firsthand from the experts. My school weren't lucky enough to be chosen, but obviously the 10 classes around the world who Skype Mark would have had a quite incredible learning experience, one that we could never ever be able to give our students otherwise. Right, and fourthly, Mystery Skype. That's something that's really taken a leap forward in the last few months, with teachers trying to do something different, and teachers who are part of the kind of Skype in the classroom community have started looking at different ways how they can Mystery Skype. And what Mystery Skype is 2 classrooms from across the world or across the town or across the country who have connected. Their teachers know who they are, and the students need to take an international guessing game where the students have to carefully crafted questions to work out where there are other classes across the world. And that may be from questions about their culture, about their food, about their language, about their history, and that can all be tied to lots and lots of different subject areas. And again, it just makes it real, it makes it fun, it makes it engaging, it makes it different, and it gives the students something to really look forward to and something to remember. So lots of opportunities there, and just to really get your minds thinking about maybe how you could use a Mystery Skype, to further your opportunities for your students. Right, just to sum it up then, and to bring it to a conclusion, I truly believe I've used Skype lots and lots, both as a teacher and as a guest speaker, and I truly believe that it can deliver a world-class education for our students. We can't be experts in every single area that we teach. There are experts out there, and it's about tapping into those experts and using your contacts or emailing people, and getting in touch with people and thinking, well, why can't we do this now? Why not? And what if? And I'll pose those questions again when we meet on Tuesday in the session. Well, what if you could Skype to the top of Everest? What if you could Skype into into the Dyson factory? Or why not? Why can't we do this? There are so many opportunities now available to us via technology, and we need to utilize this. We shouldn't be scared of it. It's very easy to do. It's very safe to do, and technology can break down all of those traditional barriers, and it can make the world a very small place and a very accessible place. So get your thinking caps on. Think about how you could use Skype in your classroom to produce and deliver that world-class education, and come with some ideas on Tuesday. In Tuesday's session, we are going to be Skyping into 2 classrooms and 2 teachers in America who are going to share with us their stories of how they've used Skype very differently from each other, and how that's had an impact on their learning. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I will see you on Tuesday.